Wilson on the far side. Across there towards Hofford!
Good work by Wegley. He's got to the byline,
And it's an amazing break. And Wegley has made it two.
Harford, Wegley. Oh, that's got to be a penalty. And it is. Julian Dix, well, how on earth could he expect to get away with very nearly strangling Wegley inside the penalty area?
That's what it is. 3-0 to Luton.
So West Ham's fine run in the Littlewoods Cup comes to an end. Luton follow up that 3-0 win with a 2-0 victory on the plastic. John Lyall drops goalkeeper Alan McKnight in favour of veteran Phil Parkes. Leroy Rossignol has a cartilage operation. He misses the FA Cup game at Charlton. West Ham win 1-0. Mark Ward is sent off. He'll miss the quarter-final tie with Norwich. League action now with home games against Queen's Park Rangers and Coventry. It's Rangers first.
Ward's corner. Ince! Well, Seaman made that look easy, and it wasn't. Andy Gray. And Gray's in again. He must score here, surely. Great stop by the veteran Phil Parkes. Still goalless. Here's Paris, the substitute. Potts. Oh, and Dennis came flying in there. The referee will want a word. He's suggesting he got the ball before Ward, but his name will go into the book anyway. When it's onto that, over he goes, and that'll be a penalty for Coventry. Kilcline against Parkes. No problems for the Coventry skipper. Ince takes the return from Dickens. Possibilities here for West Ham. Peak across to cover. And Slater won't give that up yet. Here's Ince again. Now then. Yes! A triumph for persistence. And West Ham back on terms. Brady again. He's having more and more of an effect in midfield for West Ham, and Devonshire's away, chased by Bennett. Slater, the fullback. Dix is arriving. What a marvellous save by Ogrizovic.
West Ham are now stranded at the bottom of the table, 3 points adrift of 19th place Newcastle. They've really got to start winning soon or face the drop. Defeat follows in the FA Cup. A goalless draw at home to Norwich means a replay at Carrow Road. The Canaries storm it 3-1. John Lyall signs former hero Frank MacAvennie from Celtic for £1.25 million. The Hammers hope he can add to the 33 goals he scored in his first spell at the club. MacAvennie plays at Aston Villa. It's great to see him back in the claret and blue. Although he doesn't hit the net, West Ham win it with an absolutely spectacular goal.
It's an awkward one for Parkes, but he kept his eye on the ball, and here's Ward. And now Ince. And Aston Villa have to turn and chase back, and Paul Ince goes on. Ward breaking to the right, but Ince shoots. Oh, it's a stunning goal! No one really got a challenge in on Paul Ince, and Aston Villa certainly paid the price. A great strike by one of the country's most promising players.
A rare league win, but now two more setbacks. At Spurs, and first of all home to Norwich.
Linnigan! That's the breakthrough Norwich were looking for. There's one for Allen to chase. Tony Gale is between him and that goal. Oh, he's done him. And he's beaten Parkes as well. 4 minutes left, and that'll win it for Norwich.
West Ham have defended well in this first half. But here's Naeem, and he's found a route through this time. Stewart, who's too strong for Potts, and that has to be a penalty. So Fenwick again. 2-0. And Stewart's onside. He's won a penalty. He's going to get a goal for himself.
They're still stranded at the bottom. One consolation is defeats for both Newcastle and Luton, and the Hammers have games in hand too. They've got to make the most of 3 home games in 8 days. Leroy Rossini starts the match for the first time since his cartilage operation. He gets a goal too in the draw with Derby.
Michael White. Nice ball, Goddard. Michael White goes on. Oh, and Michael White scores. West Ham's defending, well, they were all over the place. Paris. West Ham with plenty forward here. On by Dickens. Rosigne. Marvellous save from Peter Shilton. Rosigne. And they've beaten him now.
MacAvennie just hasn't run for him since he's come back to West Ham. But here's Keane with MacAvennie's help, and he scored a fine goal. Mark Burke, who's seen a lot of the ball in the second half. Pallister's right in there, and so too is Slaven, and West Ham have lost the lead. Pallister, Slaven! That's incredible and heartbreaking for the Hammers. Cockerell, and Rodney Wallace has caught West Ham a little cold here, and he's finished it off. A terrible start for West Ham in the first minute. Ward really got to up their approach now. Osman, and he's been penalised for handball. Liam Brady with a lot of responsibility, and he's shouldered it. 1-1. Here's Horn. Danny Wallace. Barry Horn again. Right out. Simple and effective. And Southampton have regained the lead.
And Southampton win it 2-1. It's West Ham's 18th defeat of the season. Staying up looks like a lost cause. You can never write off the Hammers though. They haven't given up. The next 4 games produce maximum points. It's an astonishing run. It starts with the biggest league win of the season over East London rivals Millwall.
Dix. Oh, and it's gone through the goalkeeper. He couldn't have seen it through the crowd. Paris. Now West Ham must be wishing they could have played like this at home earlier in the season. And Dickens unmarked at the near post. Slater. Still Stuart Slater. He's got Paris inside him, and West Ham have virtually wrapped it up inside the first half.
Will Gales let Lormer in here? Must score surely. What a start for Newcastle with just a minute played. Well, there's one for Slater to chase, and he's got the better of McCreary as well. Now then, can he finish it? Good stop by Wright. Keane. 1-1. Kevin Keane. Slater's away again. He's been causing problems all night. Keane, another good stop by the keeper. Ward, and West Ham are in front.
Foster, Breaker's header, snapped up by Kevin Keane, and that's a beautiful through pass for Alan Dickens. Can he finish it now? He can.
Ward, and Dickens is making a lovely run through the middle. Here is Dickens, and West Ham are in front. A gloriously composed piece of finishing by Alan Dickens. Still the Hammers lead by a goal to nil. Another one now would finish Wednesday. Keane, Rosinia. They just won't lie down, West Ham.
And they're off the bottom. Newcastle are already relegated. Although West Ham are 8 points behind Wednesday and Luton, they've still got games in hand. If they continue the form they've shown over the last 4 games, anything's possible. The last Saturday of the season, the Hammers travel to Goodison. Only another win will do against the Cup finalists.
West Ham really starting here in determined vein, as indeed they have to. And this is Stuart Slater, away from Poynton. And he's beaten Ratcliffe as well, and Southall. What a start for West Ham. It's set up for Sheedy, and that's his trademark. There's Trick Dix. Dave Watson's there. If only West Ham had played with this passion and purpose earlier in the season. Paris, and that's a push by Ratcliffe, and they've earned a penalty. This for 2-2, and the responsibility rests with young Kevin Keane. Southall with a superb save, which might in the end mean relegation for West Ham. Well, West Ham a little unlucky to meet Everton at a time where they're all playing for their cup final places. Bracewell has booked his.
That defeat is a crushing blow. The situation at the bottom's looking bleak again. Newcastle have gone, so have Middlesbrough. There's still an outside chance though. If the Hammers can win the last 2 matches, they'll be safe. Villa will drop. It would be one of the great escapes of all time. The Hammers have to beat Nottingham Forest and Liverpool away to stay in Division 1. At Forest, they get a fantastic start.
So, another game that West Ham just have to win. But it's possibly asking a lot against a Forest side still chasing 3rd place, remember. Oh, a slip there, and Rosinia was very nearly in. Well, they've set about the task in impressive fashion. Slater, Brady clipping one in. Rosinia's unmarked. Oh, that's a marvellous start for West Ham. 22 seconds. And here come the Hammers again. Keane. Ward's gone on. Here's Brady again. They've let him go. Rosinia. 2-0. Webb stealing forward for Forest. Here's Gaynor. McKnight came and didn't make it. Lee Chapman did. 2-1, and now we've got a real game on our hands.
That's a sensational result at Forest, and now West Ham know a win at Anfield and they'll stay in Division 1. It's a daunting task because Liverpool also need the points in their battle to retain the league title.
Rush, Whelan, great ball. McMahon, Aldridge in space in the middle, and Houghton arriving as well. Houghton wanted it short and got it. The ball deflects and Rush has missed. but it was a vital challenge by Gale that forced him to do so. The West Ham players patting the head of Tony Gale, and well they might. It was his challenge on Ian Rush as he shot that forced that ball over for a corner. Rush, good lay off, Whelan. McMahon wanted to take over. Rush in the middle, still for him, it comes to Whelan, and now to Barnes. Lots of Liverpool red jerseys waiting here. Barnes, has he run it too far? No, Aldridge! Brilliant goal by Aldridge! In the 20th minute, John Aldridge, who else, gives Liverpool the lead. His 31st goal of the season. And West Ham's uphill battle gets steeper and steeper. Free kick to West Ham then. Liam Brady will take it. Killed in towards Rosenia, and he got there as well, and it skimmed the top of the bar. Well, that was unlucky. On to Ince. Rosenia, Dickens, Rosenia. Good football from West Ham. Now Ward. Dickens, let it go, Rosenia! Fine goal! They've equalised. Leroy Rosenia. Ronnie Whelan. Houghton. Now McMahon. Barnes outside him on the left. McMahon going alone. And a splendid run by McMahon! Oh, it's a great save from Alan McKnight. He just tipped it over. But West Ham penned in their own half at the moment, as Liverpool turned the screw a little tighter now with McMahon. Great ball for Houghton. Oh, it hit the post and came off the defender for a corner. Dick's taking his time, getting it through, and he's given away a needless throw-in, and Liverpool could profit here through Houghton. Lovely run by Houghton. Yes! Houghton gives Liverpool the lead. 2-1. And on again. But Dick's across to cover. Beardsley's dispossessed him, and Houghton is unmarked in the middle. He could finish off West Ham here. He has. Houghton's second goal of the game. Liverpool's third. And that means second division football for West Ham next season. And that could also mean a league championship for Liverpool this season. Ablett. Houghton dashing into space. He badly wants to complete the hat-trick, but Rush wants a bit of the action as well. And Rush might get some of the action. He has. Liverpool's fourth, and Arsenal will curse that goal. It's made their job even harder. 4-1 to Liverpool. Ian Rush. And the inevitable cry from the Kop, are you watching Arsenal, as Rush goes through and could make it 5. Great tackle. Great tackle by Paris. And Ian Rush, how unusual for him, took too long to make up his mind. But that could and should have been number 5. Paris with a classic tackle as Liverpool press again here. Barnes. Still Barnes. The shot deflected and it's gone in. It's 5. Liverpool celebrate yet another goal.
So the Hammers' final record, 19th place, only 10 wins, 38 points from 38 games, not enough to avoid relegation. Look at that, just 10 victories. It costs manager John Lyall his job. Lyall...
Fitting that Upton Park should stage the BBC's first live match under the new television contract. Nowhere is football better appreciated, and nowhere is there a stronger rapport between players and fans than in East London. Liam Brady fitted in perfectly in the twilight of his career, and fittingly faced his old club.
Devonshire. Rosenia. Devonshire looks for Dickens and Kelly, and there's a chance here for Alan Dickens, and West Ham have taken the lead.
was only one man back. I think it was Richardson, but there were two against him. And the bottom team in the first division from Devonshire's through ball take the lead against the leaders.
Dickens. Potts. Ince. Good play by West Ham. It's Potts cross. Dickens with Lukic. And it's in! It's 2-0 and Arsenal are all over the place. Alan Dickens jumped with the goalkeeper and somehow that dropped in the net. It was Steve Potts who fed the ball in. Well, whether Dickens got a touch, whether that was the defender, that's 2-0 whatever happens. Devonshire. Well, it was the long ball again, I suppose, but here's Merson for Arsenal. Still Merson. And they've got one back. Smith. Ball was there, Merson was there, and it's in. It's 2-2.
And that meant a replay at Highbury and a sentimental journey for Liam Brady.
Merson's clearance only back as far as Brady. Oh, how well he did that. Strotter's there, so is Dickens. And Adams pauses, Rosenia was there, and West Ham have scored. Leroy Rosenia. Devonshire. Dix. And Kelly surely. Ince, Rosenia, goal. Leroy got it. Any one of three could have scored. And West Ham breathe a huge sigh of relief. Julian Dix plays it in. Kelly goes near post, doesn't get it. Ince can't get it. Rosenia scrambles it in by the post.
That victory put West Ham into the 5th round, where they played Charlton Athletic at Selhurst Park. It was a promising product of the Hammers youth policy, Stuart Slater, who scored the winner here. The 6th round tie against Norwich went to a replay at Carrow Road, where West Ham's goal came from a young man who would make them a lot of money.
Oh, he's given it to Slater. Ince. It's 2-1, and Rosario sinks to his knees in despair.
But this goal was very much a last throw, both for Paul Ince, who was transferred to Manchester United, and for West Ham, who were relegated to the 2nd division after 8 years in the 1st. To the surprise of many, the club, who had always preached loyalty in the past, sacked long-serving John Lyall, managed